She called me a liar in front of every single one of our mutual friends. She called me a liar in front of every single one of our mutual friends. Not privately, not in a quiet conversation where she could pretend she misspoke. Right there, in the group chat we'd all shared for years. The one with inside jokes and birthday memes and you okay check-ins. She did it publicly, loudly, and with receipts she had twisted just enough to make me look like a manipulative attention seeker. And I said nothing. Not because I had nothing to say, but because I was already thinking several months ahead. And I said nothing. Not because I had nothing to say, but because I was already thinking several months ahead. If you've ever been the person who always kept the peace, always stayed calm, always took the high road, while someone else got to be messy and loud and wrong with zero consequences, this one's for you. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and stay with me, because this story ends exactly the way it should. We had been friends for years, the kind of friendship that forms in college dorms and somehow survives the chaos of adult life. Shared playlists, late-night phone calls, weekend trips that started as plans in a group chat and sometimes actually happened. She was funny, confident, the kind of person who commands a room by just walking into it. And for a long time, I thought that energy was something I admired. It took me a while to realize there was a difference between confidence and cruelty, and that she had been walking that line for years without me ever calling it out. The trip was supposed to be a long weekend. Nothing fancy, just our friend group, a rented cabin, some overpriced wine, the usual. I'd been excited about it for weeks, had it on my calendar, had packed a bag in my head already. Then my dad collapsed. It wasn't dramatic in the way it sounds. He didn't fall down in front of me. I got a phone call, the kind where the voice on the other end is too measured, too careful, and you know before they finish the sentence that something has gone wrong. I was in my car. I sat there for a full minute, just gripping the steering wheel. I messaged the group chat as fast as I could. I typed, "Family emergency, I can't make it, so sorry." That was all I could give, because the rest of it, the hospital, the tests, the terrifying hours of not knowing anything, that wasn't something I was ready to type into a group chat between vacation packing lists. I hit send and put my phone face down. I didn't see her reply until hours later. Sure. 2 letters and a trailing ellipsis. The kind of punctuation that doesn't ask a question so much as it implies an answer. That alone would have stung. But she didn't stop there. She kept going. She wrote, and I want you to feel the weight of this, that I always do this, that I always have some convenient emergency that keeps me from following through. And then she reached back, years back, and dug up a story from college. An old story. Something I had shared with that group in vulnerability, and she reframed it, piece by piece, until it sounded like I was some kind of chronic exaggerator who manufactured suffering for sympathy. And the chat reacted, not with outrage, not with, "Hey, that's not fair." They reacted with the laughing emoji, that stomach-dropping little yellow face that tells you, "We're not on your side right now." My hands went cold. I'm not exaggerating when I say that. I felt a chill move through me the way cold water does when you drink it too fast. I started typing, carefully, calmly, just trying to explain. And every sentence I wrote, she screenshot and reposted, with a snarky little comment attached, like she was hosting a roast I hadn't agreed to attend. So I stopped. Not because she won, but because I recognized what was happening. She wasn't interested in the truth. She was performing, and I wasn't going to keep feeding a performance with material. I took screenshots of everything, every message, every laughing emoji, every repost with her little commentary. I saved them quietly, the way you save an umbrella before the rain comes, and then I muted the chat and walked away. For months, we existed in that strange gray zone of people who were once close and are now just not. No fight, no confrontation, no closure. She never texted to say, "Hey, I think I went too far." Never followed up with a, "How's your dad?" Nothing. I want you to sit with that for a second. My father was in the hospital, and she never once asked if he was okay. I stopped expecting the apology after about 2 weeks, and I think that's when something shifted in me. Quietly, without drama. I stopped being hurt and started being done. There's a difference. Hurt still wants something from the other person. Done has already walked away and started building something new. Then, about a week ago, a DM popped up on my phone. Her name. And the message was sweet. Shockingly, almost absurdly sweet. Like we were still the people we were before all of it. She said she was applying for a new position, a good one apparently, and that she had listed me as a reference because we worked so well together on that project. And then she said it. She said she needed someone to confirm she was reliable and honest. Honest. I read that word 3 times. I put my phone down, I picked it back up, I read it again. Part of me, the part that had spent years being the bigger person, the part that always found a way to smooth things over and keep the peace, that part whispered, just let it go. And maybe 2 years ago, I would have. But I thought about that group chat. I thought about the laughing emojis. I thought about my dad in a hospital bed while she typed her little performance for an audience. And I thought about how she never, not once, reached out. I replied, calmly, no venom, no drama. I told her I wasn't comfortable providing a reference for someone who had publicly questioned my integrity and never acknowledged it. Her response came in less than 2 minutes. She said I was being dramatic, that it was just chat drama, that I shouldn't hold grudges over small things. Small things. I didn't call her names, I didn't write an essay, I didn't lecture her on character or accountability or what kind of friend she had failed to be. I opened my screenshots folder. I sent her 2 messages. Her own words, the ones where she called me manipulative, the ones where she called me attention-seeking, word for word, exactly as she had written them on the night my dad was in the hospital. No caption, no commentary. Then I typed, I wish you the best of luck with your application, and I put my phone back down. She left me on read. And I sat there. Not triumphant exactly, not vindictive, but something quiet settled in my chest. Like a knot I hadn't even noticed had finally, slowly come undone. Because I didn't yell, I didn't beg, I didn't even explain myself. I just showed her her own reflection and let her sit with it. That's not drama. That's documentation. Here's what I keep coming back to. Not everyone who apologizes means it, but everyone who never apologizes tells you exactly what they think of you. She thought I was the kind of person she could dismiss, humiliate, and come back to whenever it was convenient for her. She was wrong. And the most satisfying part? She figured that out using her own words. Some people call that petty. I call it accountability with receipts. If this story hit close to home, if you've ever been the one who always kept quiet while someone else got to be loud, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel more than you know. And drop a comment below. Have you ever had a moment where staying calm was the ultimate power move? I want to read every single one. And if you're new here, subscribe, because we tell these stories every week, and trust me, they only get better. See you in the next one.